Ho ho ho, second to last day of the United Codes Advent Calendar. And today, as promised yesterday, we're going to look at how we can debug our PLSQL code. And for that, I'm using SQL Developer for VS Code. Since version 24.3, it's possible to debug your PLSQL code, but you can also use the Java version of it. Okay, you also need some prerequisites. For example, you need an ACL to allow to connect the database. Your schema needs some requirements for debugging. It's probably a thing for your DBA if you have one, to ask him about that. But come back tomorrow where I show you where you can easily run a local database, and that's already set up for debugging. Okay. So I'm here back in the code from yesterday, and first thing we're going to do is we want to add a breakpoint. So for example, this line is interesting for me. I want to see what's happening from here on. So next to this line number, I can click the red dot and set a breakpoint here. Then I also need to compile for debugging. So just click the gear icon with the bug, and then it's compiled for debug. Then I can click this thing here next to the play and click debug, and then a new window opens. First, you're going to select your procedure function here. I only have one, so it's pre-selected. And in the table down here, you can input or give values to your parameters to call your function. Okay, so when we click debug, we need to choose our IP of the database. That's again a question for DBA, or if you come back tomorrow, you learn how you can do it locally. For me, it's this lower IP address. And I can see here on the bottom, VS Code is red. It's jumping to the code. And what we actually see now on the left side is we see already some variables and their values currently. And down here we have like this highlighted line. And currently we're inside the execution of this function. So currently at this state, so the start time variable is null because we stopped before it. But then if we find it somewhere in your VS Code 2, this bar here on the top half of my screen. So what's super nice is we can just follow along and see which path of if statements we, for example, choose. So just see, okay, we're in this else. And if you have even like recursion or loops, you can just follow your code path and understand like exactly where your bugs might be. So yeah, that's it. I really recommend checking this out. Thank you very much for tuning in, and see you tomorrow for the final video.